Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of Tips for Noobs. Today we're going to be talking about how to keep those stinking Pokemon in the ball. And you probably noticed as well that if you catch one that's a high CP and it pops out of the ball, sometimes it'll run away. To keep that from happening, you need to throw a Raspberry. I recommend, first of all, if you see a really high level Pokemon, go ahead and give it a Raspberry right off the bat, and then throw your Pokeball. Raspberries reset after you hit the Pokemon with a Pokeball, so you may have to use multiple Raspberries if it keeps hopping out of that ball. And also, throwing a curveball, nice ball, great ball, excellent ball will increase the chances the Pokemon stays inside the ball. Personally, I don't recommend throwing a curveball for most Pokemon, as I mentioned before, because it is much harder to hit the Pokemon with a curveball than it is to just throw it straight up. In order to tell whether or not you're going to be able to get a nice, great, or excellent throw, if you hold down on the Pokeball, you'll see an oscillating circle on the Pokemon. Now, the smaller the circle is, the higher chance that you'll have of catching it, and if you're able to get the Pokeball inside the circle, you'll either get a nice, excellent, or great throw, all of which are worth more XP. I probably should have mentioned this in the first one because I feel like I had the same problem, which is that I should not have gone to gyms early on in the game. If you're early to the game, don't go to gyms. If you're before level 5, you can't go to gyms. And if you're only level 5, don't go to gyms. It wasn't until I was probably around level 12, 14 or so, 15, that I was able to actually compete at a gym and actually be able to take down the prestige at all without the Pokemon at the gym wiping me out completely. One of the tough parts about being new to the game is that the longer the game is out, the more high level up players that there will be, and the harder it's going to be to get into gyms. You probably looked at your backpack in the game and noticed that there are things in there that the description doesn't quite explain enough. For example, incense. Now, incense, if you hit it, it lasts for 30 minutes, and you do not want to stay still. It says that it attracts Pokemon, but it doesn't say that you need to move around, but you do. So essentially, when you're walking around, any Pokemon that were close by to you should essentially get closer to you, but you still need to move, or otherwise, you're not really going to get the most out of your incense. If you can find a Pokestop that already has a lure on it, even better. The lure already attracts Pokemon, which means if you have incense going as well, Pokemon that may not come all the way to the lure should essentially get closer to you. Pokestops are those little squares on the screen as you go around town. Now when you get close enough, it turns into a circle, and you can touch it and spin the coin. When you spin the coin, you can get 3 drops up to I believe 8 or 9. These can be potions, Pokeballs, revives, or eggs. Pokestops give you 50 XP. I would recommend, if you're going to spend any money on the game, to upgrade your bag. The further I got into the game, the more I realized that I needed to be able to hold a lot more items than the game originally lets you. I wouldn't upgrade your Pokemon storage only because I've personally never come close to filling it up. If you go to a park or a populated place, a lot of times someone else will have already put a lure on a Pokestop. To put your own lure on a Pokestop, touch the Pokestop. As it opens, hit that little white button above the circle. This will give you an option to put a lure on the Pokestop, which will attract Pokemon. The last item I want to go over is Lucky Eggs. Lucky Eggs give you double XP for 30 minutes. You want to save these for when you have a lot of Pokemon to evolve at one time, and when you're going to be active and out, hitting a lot of different Pokestops and getting a lot of different XP. When you have a Lucky Egg going, try not to do things that will waste time, like transferring Pokemon. Make sure to get the most XP in the shortest amount of time possible. That should be all you need to get started in Pokemon Go. Thanks for watching part 2 of Tips for Noobs. If you have any questions or tips, please leave them in the comments, and I will catch you guys later.